Linear programming. This is a method used to find the best solution to problems that can be expressed in terms of linear inequalities or inequalities. Solutions are usually found by drawing of inequalities and looking for optimum values that satisfy the required conditions. Forming linear inequalities. The terms and symbols used are shown below. They include less than, greater or equal to, and less or equal to. For example, Dan had 425 shillings to buy books and pens. A pen cost 25 shillings and a book cost 85 shillings. He had to buy at least a pen and 3 books. Write down inequalities representing this information. In our solution, he must buy at least 1 pen, and therefore P is greater or equal to 1. He must buy at least 3 books, and therefore B is greater or equal to 3. He cannot spend more than Kenya shillings 425, and therefore 25P plus 85B is less or equal to 425, which is simplified to 5P plus 17B is less or equal to 85. Example 2. Victor has X 50 shillings notes and Y 100 shillings notes. He has more than 1,200 shillings but less than 1,500 shillings in total. The 50 shillings notes are more than the 100 shillings notes. Form inequalities to represent this information. We have to notice that neither X or Y can be negative, and therefore the first inequalities are X is greater or equal to 0, Y is greater or equal to 0. However, we are told that there are more 50 shillings notes than 100 shillings notes, meaning X can never be 0 actually. We can therefore have X is greater than 0. X is greater than Y. Represent the above information that there are more 50 shillings notes than 100 shillings notes. Finally, for he has less than 1,200 shillings, and therefore 50 times X plus 100 times Y is greater than 1,200. However, he has less than 1,500, and therefore 50X plus 100Y is less than 1,500. Simplified, we have X plus 2Y is greater than 24, X plus 2Y is less than 30. Inequalities are therefore represented below. Solving inequalities. Alice wants to buy X books and Y pens. A book cost 20 shillings and a pen cost 30 shillings. She has 120 shillings to do her purchase. Form inequalities for this information and represent on a graph. List all the possible solutions. In our solution, X is greater or equal to 0 and Y is also greater or equal to 0. This is because X and Y cannot be negative. 20X plus 30Y is less than 120 because she cannot spend more than she has. Simplified, this is 2x plus 3y is less or equal to 12. This information can be represented on the graph as shown below. The unshaded part is the required region. The values of x and y must be integers and never fractions. The solution is any point that falls in the required region and also those points on the continuous line. Points on a broken line are not part of the solution. The required points are shown below. Recall that for inequalities greater or equal to and less or equal to, the line is continuous. However, for inequalities less than and greater than, the line is broken. Optimization. Optimization is the process of finding ordered pairs of variables that give the maximum or minimum values of a given expression. Such pairs are found in the region that satisfies all the inequalities. The process of finding the minimum and maximum values of a linear function under limiting conditions or constraint is called linear programming. For example, show on a graph the region satisfying the following: x is greater or equal to 0, y is greater or equal to 0, 3x plus 2y is greater or equal to 12, and y plus 2x is less or equal to 10. Find the maximum and minimum values of 3x plus y. In our solution, the graph will appear as shown below. Now, for section B, for the minimum and maximum values, we take the coordinates or integers at the vertices of the required region, that is P, Q, R, and S. We then substitute those integers into the equation 3x plus y. For point P with coordinates 0, 10, 3x plus y will be equal to 10. For Q, it will be 6. For R, it is 12. And for S is equal to 15. The maximum value is therefore 15 and the minimum value is 6. We take a real example. A trader bought two types of books, type X at 75 shillings and type Y at 60 shillings. He had 1,500 available and decided to buy at least 18 books altogether. He also chose to buy at least 6 type X books. He made a profit of shillings 20 per book of type X and 25 shillings per book of type Y. A. Write down inequalities to represent this information and show it on a graph. If she sells all the books, find how many books of each type she should buy to maximize her profit and find how much the profit would make. In our solution, the inequalities are: x is greater or equal to 6, that is the number of books of type X. Y is greater or equal to 0, because Y cannot be negative. X plus Y is greater or equal to 18 because we are told he bought at least 18 books. 75x plus 60y is less or equal to 1500. This is because he cannot spend more than the amount of money he has. When represented on a graph, the graph appears as shown below. Section B. Profit made is represented by the equation 20x plus 25y, the profit she made for each type of books. We now take the extreme positions on the required region, S, T, U, and V. S has coordinates 6, 17. Substituting into the equation 20x plus 25y, we find S is 545. T is 1814 and gives us 510. U is 1012, giving us 500. V is 182 and it gives us 410. The maximum profit is at X. Therefore, she should buy 6 type X books and 17 type Y books to make the maximum profit of 545 shillings.
Choose a path, choose a direction, choose your day, choose your hours, choose to network, choose a strategy, choose to create, choose your media, choose to care, choose to inspire, choose to listen, choose to learn, choose to train, choose to compete. Newcastle College, why choose anywhere else?